Class 7, as you know that yesterday we have started with this chapter from the book Alien Hand, and we have started the reading that this chapter, it is about a young boy who was living along with his family members under the surface of Mars. So his father is going through a secret passage and he is reaching to his workplace. But the boy is very curious to know that where his father is daily going. So one day what he did, he has stolen the, you can say, secret card of his father, and he has gone to through that passage, but the security was so strict that he was caught and ultimately he was sent to his home. But his father, who was very sensible, what he did, he tried to tell him the reason that why he is not able to go to the surface. So the first reason which his father gave was because he is going with a reservoir of oxygen, as at the top of the surface of Mars there is shortage of oxygen. And he also said that his boots and his special suit is specially designed to keep him warm at the surface, and moreover special training was also given to him in order to survive any type of risk that he would face in his, you can say, that he would face there. So ultimately what happened, it is being displayed here. So I'm reading from here. Okay. So here, okay. So this till here I have explained. I'm going to start from here. Okay. So his father told the reason that why he would not be able to go to surface of Mars. So next afterwards, there was a time when our forefathers lived on the surface quite naturally. So now he was telling him that there was a time when their forefathers, they were living in a good manner and quite satisfactorily at the top of the surface. Indeed, they did so for millions of years. So this practice, it was carried on for millions of years ago. For millions of years, their forefathers, they were living on the surface. But times changed. But you know the time is not stationary. It keep on changing. And he said for them also the time changed. The very sun which had provided us with sustenance, sustenance means conditions for survival. Okay, what is sustenance? Means conditions for survival. What is sustenance? Sustenance means conditions for survival. So what he said, but but times changed. Okay, so the sun which had provided us with sustenance turned hostile. What is the meaning of hostile? Hostile means unfriendly. Hostile means unfriendly. So what he said the sun which was responsible for providing them appropriate conditions so that they live, it changed unfriendly towards them. It changed only slightly, but the change was sufficient to upset the balance of nature on this planet. What he said, of course, this change was very small, but this change was so much important and significant that it disturbed the balance of this planet. So through this, what the writer wants to give us a message is that we should take care of our living conditions also. If there will be unbalance of nature, then it will be difficult for us to survive on earth. So please take care of your surroundings, take care of your health, as well as take care of your living conditions. So first the birds became extinct. See, what were the changes that has taken place because of this? First, the birds became extinct, the animals followed, the fish couldn't bear it anymore either, and we managed to survive only because of our superior technology, but we were forced to live underground under artificial conditions. So see what happened. how many things has changed? What has changed? What he said? He said, first of all, the birds, they became extinct. After the birds became extinct, then afterwards, animals, they also started becoming extinct. Then the fish also was not able to bear it anymore. And finally, he said, even human beings, for us also, for human beings also, it was difficult to survive on the surface. But we had the power of technology. Our technology was developed. And then what happened? What he said, we were forced to live under the ground, that we were forced to live under the ground. So we were started living under the ground. So, and we are living here under artificial conditions. See how difficult it is to live under artificial conditions, that you are inhaling artificial oxygen, you are living in different conditions. So, thanks to solar energy, we can generate sufficient power to make our life comfortable. He said, it is just because of the solar energy that is available that we are able to generate our artificial conditions. So again, it means the writer is saying that sun is very important for us. But the machines which make this possible must always be in good working condition. But he said, thing is that now we are using this artificial environment, but for that, what we have to do, we have to be thankful to the machines, because it is only because of these machines that we are able to create this kind of artificial atmosphere. Now he said, if these machines should not be working properly, then this kind of, you can say, artificial environment would not have been created. And if this kind of artificial condition would not have been created, then he said it would not be possible for them to live on this planet, that is Mars. So what happened? Some of them are on the surface, and I belong the team whose responsibility it is to keep watch on them and to service them. So some of them are on the surface, means some of the machines are on the surface. So he said, I belong to that team who is taking care of those machines. And this is the reason why I go to the surface through this secret passage, in order to service them. In order to service them means in order to provide some, you can say, in order to provide care to these machines so that they can work properly. So why he is taking care of those machines? Because the life of the people under the surface, it will go on smoothly. People will not face any kind of difficulty. So it is just because of this reason he was going, right? So now you people will tell me, just raise up your hands, that what was the reason, or why Pilu's father told him that they were living underground? Raise up your hands, please. Just raise up your hands. Why did Pilu's father told him that why they were living underground? Yes. Who will tell? Who will speak the answer? Yes, Harshia. Yes. Start speaking. Bani, I have also unmuted you. Suhana, yes. Unmuted.
Ma'am, the sun turned hostile and it upsetted the balance of the nature of the planet. The air was so thick and temperature was so low that the person would freeze to death. People survived due to superior technology and were forced to live underground under special artificial conditions.
Very good. So what was the result of the imbalance of nature? Because of change in solar energy, or because of the change in sun, there was imbalance of nature. So what was the result of that imbalance? Bani, you can speak. What was the result of
Birds
that?
and
Very good. Birds become extinct.
birds extinct.
Then
Couldn't bear it anymore.
animals also, and then fish also finished from this planet. And human beings, what happened to human beings? They were living where they were living
Underground,
under artificial conditions. Very good. So, what was the actual job of Tilu's father? What was actual job of Tilu's father? What his father was doing? Yes, Suhana, what was Tilu's father doing?
Yes, ma'am. Tilu's father was working on the surface of Mars.
Tilu's father, what he was doing?
He was working on the surface of Mars.
He was working on the surface of Mars. Why he was working on the surface of Mars? Why? Why?
He belonged to the team whose responsibility was to keep watch on the machines.
Yes, in order to take care of the machines, to put machines in good working conditions. Yes. Good work. So tell me that why the machines they have to be kept in good working condition? Why is there need to take care of these machines? Who will tell? Bani? After Bani, who will tell? Yes, why is there need to take care of these machines? Why is there need to take care of these machines?
Because the machines could generate sufficient power from solar energy to make the life comfortable. This was possible because the machines were in good conditions. If the machines were in good condition.
Yes, it is only because if the machines will be in good condition, they will be able to survive under the planet. Because if the machines would not be in good condition, it would be difficult for them to survive, right? So see, okay, fine, right? So see the next chapter, next part of the chapter. So, Daddy, can I join the team when I grow up? Now Tilu was very curious. He said, Papa, can I also be a part of this team? Of course, if you want to. Father said, yes, yes. If you are willing to join this team, you can surely join. But for that, you must be a good boy and do as your parents tell you. His mother had, as usual, the last word. So naturally, this is the, of course, answer of the parents, of the mother also. She said, yes, you can do, but for this, you have to do what your parents are telling you. Now, next day, we will do comprehension check afterwards. We will read the chapter first of all. So next day when Tilu's father went to work, he found the control room full of excitement. So next day what happened when Tilu's father, he went to his work, the entire control room, it was full of excitement. People were excited to ask some questions. People were crowded around the big TV screen. It showed a dot in an otherwise clear background. So they have gathered around the big TV screen. It means something they were watching on the TV screen. But what was that? There was only a dot, okay, in the clear background. And what was that dot? Let us see. It is not a star, for it's changing its position. Our computer has given a trajectory for this thing. It's heading towards us, the supervisor of the last shift explained. So has given a trajectory. What is trajectory? It is like this kind of curved motion. This is called as trajectory. When you throw a ball like this, the ball goes like this in this manner. This is what this is called as trajectory. So what he said this is not a star. This spot is not actually a star because it is continuously changing its position. If it is changing its position, then what is it? He said, the officer who was on duty the previous night or who was on duty on the previous shift, he said that it is something that is coming towards us, A spacecraft? Tilu's father asked, it can be a spacecraft. By now, he was joined by his teammates on the new shift. As he has gone to his new shift, he said, is that a spacecraft which is coming towards us? So we think, but it needs watching. Now the person said, yes, the same thing we are thinking, that it is a spacecraft. And now what is happening? That it is moving towards us. So now actually the thing is that the people, they were quite worried about this. They were just thinking that may this spacecraft cause any kind of harm to them. This was the thing of worry for them. Now, a spacecraft. Now, let me change from the screen also. See here. A spacecraft, where from? The solar system was not known to have any life anywhere except on their planet. He said, spacecraft? From where this spacecraft has come? They said, there is no life possible in the solar system. It is only on our planet. Tilu's father recalled the ancient days recorded in the archives of the Central Bureau. Archives means special pages. Okay, special information has been added at the Central Bureau, where their ancestors had a well-developed space program and had served the solar system with manned and unmanned spacecraft, and found that they were indeed alone. Now, in the days of energy shortage and underground life, they had no space program. They could only watch impotently from their vantage point. So see here. Now, so what is the thing? Now the thing is that Tilu's father, then he thought whether there is any life or not. So then he recalled some old days. Okay, so what old days he recalled? He recalled that in older times, his ancestors, they have thought that there is no life at all. But then he remembered about Central Bureau of Investigation. Okay, so then ultimately when they had studied from those pages of Central Bureau of Investigation, he said that their ancestors, they had a special developed program, well-developed program for what? And they have also searched the space system, entire solar system also. Okay, so when they have studied that solar system completely, they have come to know that during their researches, they have seen some manned and unmanned spacecraft. Manned means in which human beings are there. You know, spacecrafts, they work as robots, as computers also. So human beings can go in them also, and without them also, with remote control, they can control them. Okay, right? So ultimately what he thought, that their ancestors, they have mentioned that those people, they have seen those manned and unmanned spacecraft. And what they found that they were of course alone, that there was nobody along with them in this entire solar system. And now in the days of energy shortage, now in the present day, when there is shortage of energy, so what he thought about underground life, that they had no space program. So what they found, that there is no space program. They could only watch impotently. Impotently means without any power. What is the meaning of impotently? Having no or less power. Means when you are helpless to do anything, this is called as impotently. Okay, and ultimately from their vantage point, vantage point means what is vantage point? It is the point from where everything is visible. Everything is visible. Okay, so now at this time, what happened? He thought that now at this point, from everything is visible, they are so helpless to watch this, that a spacecraft has landed on the surface of their planet. The conference, naturally, so when this spacecraft was seen, there must be some discussion. Who is it? From where it has come? What is its reason of coming here? Then in the conference room, in the Central Bureau means where all investigation is done. Okay, so this, you can say, their conference was held. So all the people in the conference room, what they were doing, they were discussing. What they were discussing? The bureau was so quiet and an outsider would have thought it was empty. So everyone was so silent there, okay? Why they were so silent? They were so silent because they thought that what to do if somebody would come at our planet, what we will do. Okay, so complete silence. They were just thinking what it can be. Everyone is thinking one or the other thing. If somebody would be present outside the room, nobody could guess that anybody is sitting in this room. Far from it. It was full to capacity, but the members of the central committee were unusually quiet. So all the seats were completely filled. Everyone was sitting on each and every seat, but the thing is that all were very quiet. This has never happened. They knew that the president was going to make a momentous announcement. Because why they were quiet? Because all were waiting for the president, as the president is going to make momentous announcement, means at this moment he is going to make any announcement. Now what kind of announcement is going to be made? Let us see. Now, President spoken, colleagues, I will give you the report that as I have it. While I speak, there may be a change in the situation. The president paused to get his papers in order and then continued. He had some papers in front of him, and having those papers in his hand, he said, dear colleagues, I have some information in this report with me. And whatever these papers say, this I am going to explain you. Now, what he said, then he settled up his papers and he said, two spacecrafts are approaching us. One is in fact orbiting our planet while the other is still far away. He said there are two spacecrafts which are coming towards our planet. Actually, one is orbiting our planet, but the another one is far away. So you know that when some extraordinary thing is happening, so president has the responsibility to take care of this planet. So he was worried for that. So what he thought, we guess that they are coming from our neighboring planet. How should we react? Number one, your views, please. So now he said, actually, I think that it is from some nearby planet. But he said, well, how we should react, whether we attack them or we should watch them silently. He said, this is the first question I'm going to ask, because you know that when these kind of big decisions are taken, they are not to be taken in hurry. They are not to be taken on one person's opinion. The head always asks about the, you can say, all the possible ways, so that everyone can give his opinion and they will analyze. They just think, if we will do this, what will be its results? And if we will not do this, what will be its results? So this is the reason why he asked about their opinion. Now, number one was in charge of defense. So he asked from number one. Okay. So number one, who was this number one? This number one was in charge of defense, means he was responsible to take care of the security of the people of Mars. He was known for his courage and wisdom. So what were the qualities of number one? That he was courageous as well as he was intelligent also. He has wisdom. So if we wish, we can totally destroy these spacecraft with our missiles. He said, sir, if we wish, we can destroy these with our missiles. But that won't make us any wiser. We do not have the capacity to render those craft unoperational in space. But they should land. We can render them ineffective anytime we choose. So he said, if we will, you can say, blast them with that of missiles. He said, sir, that won't be much wise. This won't be a wise decision. But what we have to do, if we will make them ineffective, that we think we can do, that they won't move. Our reports say that they do not contain living beings, they only have instruments. So sir, he said, sir, there is no need to blast these spacecraft with our missiles, because our reports and experiments say that these, you can say, spacecraft, they are without any man. There is nobody in these spacecrafts and there are no living beings, so we can make them ineffective. Means we can stop the operations of this spacecraft, we can fail all the systems of the spacecraft so that they cannot move. Now he asked for opinion of number 2. The president asked to who is number 2? He is the president asked the scientist on the committee. He is the scientist. So tomorrow we will see that what he is telling about his viewpoints, whether how they will get rid of this, you can say, spacecraft, okay, whether they blast them or what they do, okay. So this we are going to read.